Hi guys, this is Jesse here from pentuner.com. Today I have a Esterbrook J Fountain Pen. This is a vintage pen. I believe Esterbrook started production around 1948, if I'm not mistaken, at least for the common double jeweled model that we are familiar with today, meaning that it has these black jewels on both ends of the fountain pen. They started production around 1948. I think they ran until around 1960. They were extremely popular, and at the time they were a very affordable fountain pen. Luckily they were very well made, and we have a lot of survivors even today. They are very common. So I want to take the time to show you how one looks today and how it writes. This is the full model J. There were three actually. This is the full model J, which is the largest version. There was also the Esterbrook LJ, which is the same length but is thinner. It has a thinner body. It's more slender. And in addition to that, there was an Esterbrook SJ, which is just as slender as the LJ, but is shorter. So it's perhaps 3/4 inch shorter than this one. The easiest way to tell whether you got a full-size J over one of the slender models, the SJ or the LJ, is compare the jewel sizes. And you can see that on the cap and on the end of the barrel, the jewels are two different sizes. The cap is significantly larger than the barrel. That is only true on the full-size J. The LJ and the SJ have identical size jewels. So if you've got same size jewels, you know you're not looking at the full-size J. So the Esterbrook J, just to give you a frame of reference, here it is next to a Noodler's Nib Creeper pen. This is a Parker 51 and a Namiki or Pilot Falcon. So they're all relatively similar size pens. It looks like the Esterbrook is the shortest one, but they all feel very good in the hand, and the Esterbrook writes well either posted or unposted. The lever bar came in two different models. This is the flat model. This came with the earlier versions of the Esterbrook. The later models came with a curved or spoon shape. And in addition, there's a logo that is engraved on the barrel, which is probably very hard to see on the camera. But it says Esterbrook. And after the Esterbrook, there is a trademark symbol that looks like it's the R with a circle around it. So they are labeled Esterbrook, and then they have this trademark symbol. The trademark symbol did not appear in the early Esterbrooks. They only showed up after a few years of production. I don't know exactly when, maybe around 1950, 1951, they started putting the trademark symbol. So using this as a guide, you can get a rough estimate of a date for your Esterbrook. Ones that are missing the trademark symbol altogether, they just say Esterbrook, are the earliest models, starting in 1948. So they're either a 48, 49, or a 1950. The ones that have the flat lever bar and also have this trademark symbol are kind of the middle range Esterbrooks from maybe 1950, 1951 through 1955. And then the later ones that have the spoon shape, which I don't have, but it's quite obvious if you see one. There's no sharp corners, and this looks like a cereal spoon or a teaspoon. And those are the latest model Esterbrooks from probably 1955 on until they ended production around 1960. So one of the hallmarks of the Esterbrook was that the nibs were user replaceable, and they had catalogs all over the place of all of the different nibs that were offered. I think there were over 30 nibs that you could put on your Esterbrook at the same time. And they're very simple twist in and twist out units. So this one is a 2968. They numbered all of their nibs. So this is the 2968, which is the broad nib. I also have over here this is a silver Esterbrook J, full size. This one is a 2556, which is a fine. So they call it the Renew Point Nib. They are very simple. You can just grab the nib and the whole thing will just twist right out. So the idea is you can take the nib out, and then you can put in whichever one you now want to start using. The nibs were so popular, in fact, that you can still find new old stock nibs all over the place. I know Pandemonium has them. I've seen them on David Nishimura's website. They're very popular. You can still get Renew Point nibs in the box for relatively cheap, less than $20. But these are the nibs that came with the pen. So this is the broad nib on the red Esterbrook. I'll just give you a quick writing sample to kind of show you what it looks like. Now I've already gone ahead and smoothed this nib to my hand position and writing style. So it feels pretty good for me. It could use a little bit more work. I haven't put too much effort into it, just so that I can do the final smoothing for whoever this pen ends up with, the final buyer. So this is the Esterbrook Broad, the 2968 Renew Point. We'll just do a few quotes here. So the downstroke on this is quite broad compared to the cross-stroke. It's actually almost like a stub. Not quite. I mean, it is still a broad nib. The cross-stroke is, it's certainly narrower than the downstroke, but it's not as narrow as a real stub or a real cursive italic. But you still get a lot of character out of this nib. I'm actually very happy with it, and it's it polished up very nicely. It fits my handwriting well, and it's a very nice nib. So that is the Esterbrook J. It's been around for 65 years and still going strong, and I see it sticking around for much longer. Thanks, guys. Check out my website, pentuner.com, for more videos and to see more pens I have for sale, and see you later.